This is going to be a quick discussion on the emergency landing pattern, or the ELP. Some things to consider is that we will assume today is a standard day with a 10-knot headwind. We'll also assume that you have already figured out how to get to high key and are there at 125 knots. You are looking to be directly over the runway at high key. This point is also directly over your intended point of landing, which should be about a third of the way down the runway. You should be looking for your altitude to be about 3000 A. If you're there at 125 knots, put your gear down and go into a 30-degree bank left or right turn. The next checkpoint should be cross key. You should be looking for your altitude to be between 2,200 and 2,300 feet AGL. All the while, you should be maintaining 120 knots and 30-degree bank turn. As you approach low key, you should be looking for your altitude to be 1,500 feet AGL. This is usually when pilots roll flaps takeoff. It is also advised that you roll out at this point to check your displacement. The runway or your intended point of landing should be directly under the fuel filler cap. If it is, roll back into 30 degrees of bank. Approaching base key, you should be looking to be 600 to 800 feet AGL. This is usually when pilots will transition to maintaining their aim point. The standard aim point for an ELP pattern is 500 to 1,000 feet short of their intended point of landing, or about where the next T6 is at the number 2. This is also when you should start thinking about when and if you should roll your flaps to landing. A common technique is if you are able to hold your aim point and your airspeed is 130 and holding or increasing through 130 knots, then you should roll your flaps to landing. At 300 feet, you've already made the final decision to complete the ELP. At 200 feet, your gear is down, and 100 feet, you are on centerline. ELP complete.